Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I would like to support the motion about online learning is the future of education. Since the emergence of COVID-19 pandemic, the teaching and learning process cannot be done face to face, both on schools and colleges. Almost all schools and colleges in the world have changed their their teaching and learning process to an online method, which is also often referred to as online learning. In addition, the application of the online learning is intended to follow the learning methods that have been applied in international universities. Ladies and gentlemen, recent research shows that this online learning method could be the future of higher education learning after the COVID-19 pandemic, especially in Indonesia. So there are 4 keywords in this motion. There are online, learning, future, and education. According to Oxford Languages, online is controlled by or connected to another computer or to a network because learning is the acquisition of knowledge or skills through experience, study, or by being taught. And then future is the time or a period of time following the moment of speaking or writing, time regarded as still to come. And the last is education. It's the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction, especially at a school or university. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before discussing further, let me introduce myself. My name is Auren Putri from St. Paul High School, Pontianak, West Kalimantan Province. As the first speaker, I will bring an argument about online learning so useful and effective today and in the future. That the problem will occur if there's no online learning, the benefits and the reasons online learning better than the traditional learning. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, online learning is an effective learning method for present and future young generations. Why? As I explained earlier, since the COVID-19 pandemic, between students and teachers cannot carry out face-to-face learning. That's the first reason. So now online learning is a very helpful learning method. Between teachers and students can do learning even though in a long distance. Online learning also become more interesting than the traditional learning. In other words, face-to-face learning in schools. And what the problem will occur if there is no online learning method? If there is no online learning method, namely online learning in 2020, students cannot go to school, cannot learn, cannot socialize with the teachers and friends. And teachers will also find it difficult to teach their students. Okay? A teacher not only teach one student but hundreds of students. Imagine how difficult it is. How can teachers explain learning material or giving assignment to students? Ladies and gentlemen, maybe at first we are not used to online learning. However, if from now on we continue to develop this learning method, in the future it will have many positive impacts and benefits for the younger generations, especially students. Because online learning can be a new method for students in Indonesia and in other countries around the world. Of course, this new learning method is more interesting and automatically. The younger generations in the future will be open and very curious about the modern learning method. Ladies and gentlemen, in a research on online learning during April, online surveys were distributed throughout Indonesia, and 71% respondents are students, the rest are lecturers, 16%, and the rest are university officials. The majority of respondents, 94%, appreciated the higher education management decision to conduct learning through online methods during the pandemic. They also assessed that the quality of lectures and existing facilities is sufficient to support the implementation of lectures through the online method. Ladies and gentlemen, more than half of respondents, 58%, rate the planning and implementation of online learning in their university environment as very good. On average, it gave a score 7 or 8 out of a maximum score of 10. Nearly 60% of half of the respondents also said that the quality of online learning was as good as regular classes. In addition, the majority of respondents, 60%, also agreed that the learning objectives were well achieved even though they were carried out through online learning. Meanwhile, when asked about the percentage of courses that need to be maintained through online learning, the majority of respondents, 50%, choose between 50 until 75% of all courses that could be delivered via e-learning or online learning. Meanwhile, almost a third of respondents felt that only 30 until 50% of courses could still use the online method. So, ladies and gentlemen, the survey results indicate that online learning could be the future of higher education in Indonesia. Online learning has great opportunities as a new learning method in the future. And now, ladies and gentlemen, comparison between traditional learning and online learning. So, what are the benefits of the online learning? The benefits of online learning, among others, are flexible learning, accessible anytime and anywhere, a more interesting and enjoyable learning experience. Then, what are the benefits of online learning for the teachers? First, the student database is stored. It is easier for teachers to monitor their students and can take a more personal approach to their students. Why is online learning better than the traditional learning? Because besides online learning is useful and effective in their teaching process, the presence of online learning also directs students to be literate about existing technology and to be more creative. Online learning enables the teacher and the student to set their own learning paths, and there's the added flexibility of setting a schedule that fits everyone's agenda. It becomes easier for teachers to give assignments for their students, or in addition, teachers will also easily distribute learning materials to their students, ladies and gentlemen. Suppose one day before the teacher's lesson schedule, of course this makes it easier for students to study the material that has been given in the advance, so that the next day when the teacher explains or give assignments, the students already have an illustration to do the assignments. Then the existence of online learning also makes it very easy for us to access the material provided by the teacher in the form of document or video files. We can see it over and over again until we understand. This can be done anytime and anywhere. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's compare the teacher explanation at schools and the teacher explanation during the online learning. At school, the teacher explains the material by writing it down on the whiteboard. All the students see is a whiteboard filled with the teacher's handwriting. That makes them bored and sleepy during learning. However, since the existence of online learning, delivery of the material is much more interesting and colorful. So it makes students happy while learning, and when students are happy and enjoy with the learning, of course the material explained will automatically be easily absorbed by the brain. All assignments done by students are also immediately collected in an online learning application. When compared to learning at school, isn't online learning more effective? Neither the teacher nor the students need to carry a lot of books, which is heavy on their backs, but just by carrying one smartphone in their pocket, they can access all of them. Of course, we also know that the higher a student's education level, the books they will carry in their bags is heavier, can injure muscles and joints. This can lead to severe back, neck, and shoulder pain, as well as posture problems. In addition, online learning also improves the ability of the younger generation to develop the use of technology, hone student creativity. For example, by making video presentations or practicing making something, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, this can develop a feeling of confidence and courage to express opinions and so on. The existence of online learning makes it easier for teachers to monitor their students. We take for example, ladies and gentlemen, when in class, usually the students who sit in the back row will be free to sleep, because the teacher's view is limited to seeing all students in the class, unlike online learning. All students' activities are easily monitored by the teacher. In fact, teachers can immediately reprimand students who sleep or don't display their face during online learning. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, between teachers and students can establish a more personal communication. What is the meaning of personal? The meaning of personal here is that students can directly ask the teacher privately via a chat application if there are things that are not understood. In this way, students don't only socialize with their friends, but socialize with the teachers who teach them. So, ladies and gentlemen, online learning has many benefits for students and teachers. That's all for me. Thank you and good afternoon.